3 kids under 5, you've just escaped an abusive home at last. You're not a homeless statistic, but you don't really have a home. What you have is a tiny apartment that you can barely afford, and it's empty because you've been on a wait list for furniture for weeks. So where are you supposed to turn? I really hope that this is never your personal story, but it is Anna's. In defeat, she actually said the words to us, "If I can't even find my kids a bed, we're going to have to go back to him." Well, Anna's friend had heard of the generous and the grateful, and soon an emergency dispatch was underway with delivery by sunset. So Anna tucked her kids into our beautiful soft beds that night. Can you believe it took 7 second-hand items to keep 4 people from going back to abuse? So how many Annas do we think there are in Sydney each year? And what about when we add in all of the other towns and cities and regions? Other people at great risk of homelessness and harm? The numbers are astounding. At the Generous and the Grateful, we call her Gigi for short, we can fulfill these basic human needs simply by connecting excess efficiently. So breaking it down, there are many people that live rough underneath a roof, and they simply need furniture and a fridge to turn it into a place where they can recover and then get on with building a brighter future. We know there are so many excellent frontline services that are supporting their recovery. Now, some of them have funding to establish all of their clients in a new tenancy, but many of them do not. And in our opinion, regardless of the funding capacity of your support services, everybody deserves a bed, right? Right. Overconsumption and waste is clearly a global issue. Now, in the beginning, we had lots of beautiful things offered on Free Cycle, Gumtree, Facebook, and we ran around with a little trailer and a van and a truck, and we completed quite a few homes. But that came with high cost of acquisition and some serious quality control issues. So now we've discovered that there are so many better sources of higher quality goods in bulk, and that means we're able to scale our impact. There are big name hotels all around us. They refurbish every 5 to 7 years, and before our warehouse and our staff to allocate all of the goods, a lot of that was going to landfill. We have incredible conscious retailers that simply share their excess stock and returns. So now, with companies like Koala, Unitex, Accor Hotel Groups, and Built Construction, we're changing lives instead. At Gigi, our ultimate goal is that anybody being assisted into housing has access to the bulky goods that complete and make a home. They turn this into this. Thank you. We do it in a way that helps businesses and individuals to channel their kindness away from landfill. 133 tonne of it last year. So how many homes do you think a bunch of volunteers could complete in a year? 486 in 2020. So, thank you. That's 1,300 people simply sleeping in their own bed, sitting on the couch together as a family, eating dinner together at a table. But the thing about big numbers, they sound exciting for a young organisation with rapid year-on-year growth. But we know that we are simply scratching the surface of the level of need and supply. We are a tiny staff with a large team of big-hearted can-do volunteers and incredible pro bono service providers. And together, we keep our costs really low and our impact really high. We're getting better all the time, but to be honest, we're simply frustrated because we know how many homes there are to create. Importantly, we care about each and every one because this is actually about each Anna, right? We know what is possible when a basic building block is just taken care of, and because the team at GG takes fridges and furniture out of the way of the caseworkers at the front line, they can refocus their energy and resources on employability, trauma recovery, financial independence, and so on. So from the dignity and security that home provides, we know that so many things are possible. For example, we've seen that children pay better attention in school and adults interview better because they feel worthy, because the stuff is great. You know, the stuff that we all take for granted, it actually enables so much more beyond those things, like Mike, a lovely, engaging Aboriginal man who had to live in his car for many years. Now, he has got a home he is so proud of, and his kids can come and stay with him again. That's stuff. And what about Mike? Sorry, that was Mike. What about Blake? Blake was a young man who, at the age of 18, he had to make his own way after being a foster kid. And we set him up with so much cool modern furniture and a massive telly. And now he has his mates over to watch the match. What could they have been doing otherwise? So if excess stuff can save time and resources for frontline experts and improve the outcomes for all of their clients, and if the Annas, Mikes and Blakes feel amazing about their prospects because that stuff is really nice, then this is what can make brighter futures for so many of our most vulnerable. And it happens to be really great for the planet as well. So, all right, how can you help? Get ready. So tomorrow, I really want you to get talking about GG, the generous and the grateful. We connect excess to meet human need, but excess isn't only about the stuff, the furniture, the fridges. Excess might also be your services, your advice, your muscles, your technology. There are so many more. We'll send you a list later. Now, if you think about what you and your contacts might have to share, that doesn't need a $ in front of it, because we know at the Generous and the Grateful that by weaving together all of these forms of your kindness and generosity, we wrap a blanket around the people that we find beds for. Tonight is about our ability to create more homes for people at great risk of homelessness and harm. So we know that there are a lot of Annas, Mikes and Blakes, and every $150 that is shared this evening, that means replacing a faulty fridge so that somebody like Mike can keep paying his rent on time. And every $500 that's shared, well, that is home for a young person like Blake living foster care. And $1,100 every time we tick over that, that makes home for a gorgeous little family like Anna's. So I'd like you to think about adding some homes to your property portfolio. There's a really strong social return on your investment. We all know that there are a lot of Annas, a lot of Mikes and a lot of Blakes. And together tonight, I'm inviting you to think how many homes you would like to complete and how many futures we can brighten together. Thank you.
Tonight, for the Generous and the Grateful, we raised $80,000.
Well done.
And the sunlight hurts my eyes.